message at MPI's World Education Congress here in Salt Lake City is very clear. For its members, drive yourselves up the value chain and start speaking the language of business. And for businesses, start understanding the strategic and tactical importance of meetings and events in driving your own businesses forward.
Hello, my name is Anne, and I'm a meetingaholic. Now, for those of you who might be saying, well, what does it mean to speak the language of business? Begin by understanding your business. Follow shareholder return. Learn the KPIs, the key performance indicators, for your organization. And understand what's important to that C-suite and what metrics for success are being measured. Know how to make a difference and contribute to those things that are valued there. It takes our community. Speaking the language of business will enhance our value, and MPI will lead the charge.
Christine Duffy, last time we met, you were spearheading the inauguration of the Keep America Meeting campaign, and it has to be said, to great effect.
We have had some great results working with U.S. Travel Association and all the major industry associations. There were 5 pieces of legislation that potentially, had they passed as presented, would have very much negatively affected and impacted the industry. And all of those pieces of legislation were either withdrawn or revised in such a way that we think does not affect us in a negative way.
But still many challenges facing the industry at large, particularly with the media, Christine.
Unfortunately, we still are dealing with some of the perception issues. The group did have an opportunity to meet with President Obama. He was supportive. The administration says that they support business travel. However, we've still got a lot of media that is actually, I'll say, out on a witch hunt, looking for, the next great headline. So we're still managing the issue of perception, and frankly, we are still managing during some difficult economic times. So companies are more sensitive about where they take their programs right now.
So is it a wholesale retreat from the global arena?
I think it is a retreat to more regional programs. So it's not an issue of whether we take something outside of the U.S. or keep it in the U.S. It's how can we continue to run programs and save money. So frankly, if we don't have to fly to a destination, we can save 25 to 30% of the budget.
So what bridges the gap between regional and global events?
Well, frankly, we might do 10 regional local meetings instead of a single 1,000 person meeting. We might do 10 with 100 people at each one, and really then use technology, virtual technology now, to bring people together.
Are you finding that the clients are actually responding positively to a more diversified federal approach?
Well, I think right now Treasury has issued what they call the interim final guidelines, which is really directed at those companies that have received government assistance. And again, based on the work that we've been able to do with U.S. Travel and other associations, the lobbying, those guidelines, while they did not specifically endorse ours, they are not overly prescriptive. So other than some language that talks about luxury in a way that we would prefer they stay away from, we can certainly live within the guidelines that have been issued.
I'm deeply concerned about the proposed cap and trade bill, which is going to raise $7.4 trillion in tax revenues on the basis of carbon trading. And I'm absolutely convinced this is going to have a negative impact on business travel.
I think you're probably right, and I think there will be other pieces of legislation that either we want to put forward that can help our industry, and there'll be legislation that's put forward that will hurt our industry, which brings me back to what we said in January. We as an industry now are no longer under the radar, and so it is critical that the industries have the commitment to continue the work that's begun with the U.S. Travel Association and the major industry associations to continue to educate our government officials on the impact, the economic impact, the impact on jobs as they put these pieces of legislation forward.
Do you concur with the WEC theme that this year it's very much time to start speaking the language of business rather than speaking the language of meetings?
Absolutely. We've been saying that for over a decade. I think the time is now. People are beginning to understand that we have no choice. If we are going to survive and thrive as an industry, we have to speak the language of business. We have to speak to the issues of return on investment, return on objectives. We have to be able to track carbon savings. We have to be able to integrate virtual into the live and physical events that we do. So I think, again, as I've said before, this is a great opportunity for meeting professionals in our industry, as long as we accept that it's not going to go back to the way it was. It is going to be different. And if we embrace that, I believe there's great opportunity and growth in store.
So in effect, it's time for a strategic leap, shall we say, to terra firma.
Absolutely, and I think the convergence that we've seen with corporate travel and meeting professionals under the auspice of strategic meetings management is also something that is quite timely right now. Right now, CFOs and procurement executives are leading the charge, sales and marketing executives who continue to believe in these programs and need these programs to drive business forward have to work together. We believe that meeting professionals can be the bridge where we do need to do both. We need to manage this as a business category. We need to be transparent. We need to mitigate risk. And at the same time, we cannot lose sight of the reason these meetings are held and the experience that participants need to have in order for these programs to continue to work.
Money talks, bullshit walks, Christine.
You could say that.